build and place a wood duck nesting box, and earn a badge. Hello and welcome. I'm Sam Hall for Global Outfitters Outdoor University and Heritage Quest USA. I'm here today to help you understand how to assemble your wood duck nesting box kit. Let's get started by showing you what comes with your kit. First of all, you're going to get some assembly instructions, or you can watch a video very much like this. Then your wood duck nesting box kit comes with all of the components you need to build your wood duck nesting box. You have a floor unit in there that has a groove cut for draining. We also have a roof that's got nice rounded edges on it to protect the top of your wood duck box. The front of your wood duck box with the entry holes cut in, grooves on the back side to help your ducks be able to climb up and out of your box. It also has some pre-drilled holes in the top here, as well as on the back side for your hinging door. There are two side panels with a pitched roof. One of the side panels is a door and one is a side panel. The one that's the door is a little bit smaller than the other. That way it'll have the ability to hinge inward and outward. Then you have your back. And your back has two pre-drilled holes in it to allow you to mount your box once it's assembled. You have a perch for the front of the box, and the hardware that comes with it, there's a latching pin for the front and a couple of screws to assemble your door. We'll set them down here as well. And besides that, you're going to have some cedar shavings to allow you to build the nest in your box for your nesting birds. Now let's cover the tools and the equipment that you're going to need to put your box together. First of all, a nice cordless drill is something that you will need. I have a Phillips head bit on here, plus I have a 3/16 drill bit to drill the entry hole once I've assembled that part of my box. I've got some waterproof or water resistant wood glue, naturally a hammer. Always nice to have a tape measure around. I have a pencil, as well as some number 4 galvanized finishing nails. They're 1.5 inches long. This is what I'm going to use to put the box together. So let's get started and let's talk about the first step in assembling your box. Okay, now we're ready for the first step in assembling our box. We've identified our side panel because it's a little larger than our door and our back. We notice that the bevel on the side, on the top up here, is going to be the top. We've identified the hole here. This is the side we want for the door. So we're going to assemble the side panel to the opposite side. We're going to align it along the top side here. We're going to run a bead of glue down along the panel. I'm going to start a couple of nail holes here, and then we're going to nail this together. So let's get started. Got my nails started. I'm going to run me a bead of glue down the high side here on the back. I'm going to flush up my side and my top. I'm going to tack my first nail. Just get it started. Then I can move down to my second one. Once I get it in, Go back up here to the top, make sure it hasn't moved. And I'll pop it in as well. So now we have this panel in. I'm going to take a few seconds and I'm going to nail a couple of more nails in here just for sure, just sturdy it up a little bit. Okay, now we're finished with step one. We have our roof along the top, matches up. We have it glued down the back, and we put about 4 nails in the back side here. So now we're ready to install the floor system. Okay, step 2, we're going to install the floor in our wood duck nesting box. Notice that there's a drain hole groove cut into the bottom. This is to let the water that gets into the nesting box easily drain out to keep your birds safe and your box dry. It's very important how this is situated. Notice that once it's in, we need to have it, we're gonna mount this about 3/4 of an inch up from the bottom. It's going to be on the inside piece right here on the side, and in most cases I even like to let it angle up just slightly, about 1/8 of an inch. That way the water will drain down towards the end of the drain side of the box. We're going to end up putting glue on these 2 sides, placing it in here, and installing the floor. So let's go. I'm going to start some nail holes just like I did earlier. Looks like it's going to be a nice fit. So I'm going to run my glue. Down these 2 sides. Okay, I've got those 2 nails in. Okay, now I've completed the second step. I have my side, my back, and my floor unit installed. The next thing we're going to put on is the front panel, so let's get started. Now we're ready to install the front panel on our wood duck nesting box. Notice we're going to have the smooth part on the outside, and we're going to have the grooves on the inside. We've already got our floor system in, as well as one of our side panels. The top has a nice pitch that we're going to match up to the top side of our side panel here. Make sure it's flush along the bottom. We have a nice fit. We're going to run a bead of glue along the floor panel and along this side and tack this in. Just like we've done before, let's start a couple of nails to where it'll make our final job a little easier. And I'm going to do 2 on each side. Remember, I have this recess, so my nail has to come up a little further down here. Okay, now I've got my nails started. I'm going to run my glue along my edges right here. Take my box back up. I'm going to make sure my bottom's fit and my top edge is flush. I'm going to tack one of my nails. I'm going to come down here, make this side. Okay, now I've got these nails in. I'm going to put me a couple of extra nails in for extra measure. Now this step is finished. I have my back, my side, my front panel, along with my floor system installed. The next step is going to be to install the roof on our wood duck nesting box. Okay, now we're ready to put the roof onto our wood duck nesting box. Notice we're going to take our roof, we're going to flush it along the back side and on this side and let the overhang be across the front here to protect the entry hole. Like I've done in the past, I'm going to start a few nails. I'm going to run a bead of glue along the top right here, and then we'll be able to tack this together. Set this right here. It's going to sit like that. Start a few nails along the back edge, a couple. And then down the side. I'm not going to go too far because I got my overhang, so I'm going to back up about 4 inches. I'm going to flush her up along the back and on the side. I'm going to tack my first nail. Let me come down here and go ahead and square this up by tacking in this nail. Now once I've got these in here, I'm going to put some more nails in here to shore this up. Okay, we're getting close. We've got a roof on now, front, side, back, and a floor system. Now we're ready to install the door onto our wood duck nesting box. Okay, now we're ready for the next step, and that's going to be to put the door, the hinge door, on your wood duck nesting box. I like to set my box upside down to do this process. You notice we have the hole on the front for the hinge screw and the hole on the back. These are the screws that came with your wood duck nesting box as part of the hardware kit. I'm going to set my door in here to make sure that it has a gap around all the edges, a nice gap around all the edges to be able to make sure the door will hinge properly. I'm going to need to pull it up off the bottom down here slightly to where it'll be able to hinge freely. So for that, I'm going to use some of the nails I have here. I'm going to lift my door up and I'm going to lay some nails down along the bottom. This is going to give me a sufficient gap that I need. Then I want to make sure that I bring my door out flush with the roof here. And then I can see that I have my gaps here and it's lined up properly down here. So once I do that, I'm going to take my first screw, I'm going to put it in here. I'm going to tighten it with my finger. I'm going to use my Phillips head screwdriver. And I'm going to put that door hinge in. Now I'm going to come around to the other side. I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm not going to tighten these screws up too tight because I'm going to have to adjust them to make sure my door swings freely. Okay. So now that I have that done, I can pull my nails out. And I see my door is going to hinge. Now I'm going to set it back up. I may need to adjust this a little bit. I'm going to screw this one out some. Nicely done. So you see how my door swings. You can adjust your screws here. It's also nice to have a Phillips head screwdriver. Might be able to have a little better feel with that to loosen and tighten your door. But in the end, you want your door to hinge like so. And that's how you put on your door. Now let's put on the latching mechanism on the front. We're getting close to finished. Okay, now we're ready for the next step. We're going to put on the latch that came with your wood duck nesting box. We want this door to be able to hinge, but we also want to be able to close it and latch it or lock it so you will be able to leave your wood duck box knowing that it'll be secure. And then when you come back, you'll be able to pull out your latch and then be able to service your wood duck nesting box. So for this process, we're going to lay our box on the back. We can see that our door hinges freely. For this step, we're going to take out our Phillips head bit and put in our 3/16 drill bit. And I'm going to want to make sure my door is exactly in the position that I want it to be in. Then I'm going to come up about 1.5 inches from the bottom, and I'm going to drill my latching hole through the face and into the door panel. Now once it's in there, I'm going to wall it out a little bit. Now once I've done that, the latch that came with your door has a rubber washer on it. I like to pull that rubber washer out a little bit to give me a little bit of room to put my fingers in there to pull my latch in and out. It's going to be a little tight at first. I know that. So I'm going to go on and tack it in. After I tack it in a little bit, I'm going to use my perch that we're going to put on up here in a little bit, and I'm going to work this in and out. Tack it in a little more, work it around, tack it in a little more, work it around, tack it in a little more, work it around. Then I'm going to go on and tack it in the rest of the way to where my door locks. So I haven't pushed it in all the way, but it's in too tight for me to really be able to pull it out. So I'm going to pull it out, tack it in again, pull it out, tack it in again, pull it out, tack it in again. Now let's see if this is loose enough to fit and work with our hands. Okay, I can pull it out, and I can open my door. I can push it in, and my door closes and locks. I can pull it out, latches, pull it in. So now our door is on, our latching mechanism is on. The last step we're going to do is put on our perch. So let's get started doing that. Now we're ready for the last step of our wood duck nesting box assembly process. We have the nesting perch that came with the box. This is where I'm going to use my tape measure and the pencil I told you about. We're going to mount this about 5 inches below the entry hole to our box here. We'll end up putting a couple of nails in there and some glue. But first, I'm going to make me a couple of marks about 5 inches down. Go ahead and get my nails started. Now we're going to put some glue onto our perch. I've got my marks here. Let's center it up. I'll tack it in. Now isn't that beautiful? A completed wood duck nesting box. Now we're going to show you in the upcoming videos how you might build some predator guards, then how you might select a location, the proper time, and then how to install your wood duck nesting box. So I want you to come back later and watch those videos. And also, whether you order your kit, build your wood duck nesting box from scratch to earn your badge, or attend one of our day camps, go online to heritagequestusa.com or globaloutfitters.com and check a schedule of the day camps that are at some of the Heritage Quest outposts to where you can get involved and learn how to assemble your wood duck nesting box, put on your predator guards, find a suitable place to place your nesting box, and then place it in the field to earn your badge. We'll see you next time on Global Outfitters Outdoor University. I'm Sam Hall for Heritage Quest USA. Build and place a wood duck box, earn a badge.